Sirenity is a young warmblood mare that I came across last year that was having a whole lot of troubles. She was being aggressive with her owners. She was extremely unmanageable to handle. It got to the point that she had actually attacked her owner, and she was now outside in a field, no halter on. They couldn't catch her, couldn't approach her. And after, multiple shows of aggression, they were very close to considering euthanasia. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with her, what the problem was, or how to get through to her. Sirenity, I think what happened with her was really the perfect storm of many different layers, psychological, medical, nutritional, complications and stressors going right back to even in utero development. As we started peeling back the layers of her story, we got the information that the mare, so her dam, when she was pregnant with Sirenity, accidentally got loose on the farm and ran around like a mad woman and ended up slipping and falling. Fortunately, she didn't abort, lose the foal, nothing, everything was okay. And, then fast forward to closer to foaling, and they discovered that the mare had placentitis. So she was then being treated for placentitis and went full term and delivered a seemingly healthy, beautiful little bay filly. From there, things were normal for quite some time. I think, she met all the markers. She was raised just like any of their other foals. She was handled and brought inside and outside, and there were really no concerns until weaning. The stress of weaning appears to have triggered some more stress-related symptoms, problems. She was weaned and she started eating solid food. She colicked very violently and ended up at the equine hospital. And when they scoped her, they found that all the food had balled up in her stomach, and she wasn't able to digest this ball of food. It was just sitting there. This fortunately wasn't a surgical case. They tubed her with Coca-Cola to break up this ball of hay and feed, and were able to disintegrate it all and get her comfortable. And the only advice or the thought was that perhaps she had a dysmature GI system, and that she'd have to be fed very small meals 10 times a day, and until her system could catch up with the rest of her development. So in result of being fed these 10 small meals a day, I think, and also, continuing to have discomfort in her GI system, she was starting to get food aggressive, and she was also starting to relate people with pain and discomfort. So it was really difficult to get good condition on this filly when they could only feed her so much. But it seemed to be going well. She didn't at that time have a recurring colic. She just was starting to these behaviors were starting to escalate. So as a yearling, so I guess early in her yearling year, they wanted to start doing some more groundwork with her and teaching her some more manners and patience, and basically just, young horse handling, so that she, is being prepared for life. As the owners continued to work with her and do some groundwork and work in the arena, she started to kind of rebel, push back. Some more aggressive behaviors started to come out. They didn't understand why. They outsourced to some other local trainers to come in and work with the filly. And unfortunately, that was just a big setback, and probably broke even more trust that she had with people, and basically got to the point that she was relating any interactions with people as painful, physically painful. So she was learning to scare people away, to leave her alone so that the pain would go away. The pain, I think this goes back to, she was having stomach pain, she was colicking, she was laying down on the ground, she would lay down for excessive periods of time, and I don't think they were like traditional colic symptoms, but she was definitely displaying some abdominal discomfort. And I think this all goes back to, basically in utero, when she was developed, she was stressed. So, you've got your stress hormones during development. Then you've got your placentitis, which also affects your stress levels, stress hormones, and that affects development. And then on to weaning, which stressed her further, causing the GI issues. When horses are triggered, and they're triggered into their fight or flight state, which is also referred to as their sympathetic nervous state, the first system to shut down is your GI system. And what I think was happening is that because of chronic stress, of no one's fault, like I say, it was a perfect storm, from development in utero, placentitis upon birth, weaning stress, and then continued stress with eating, being hungry, stressed. Any interaction, even positive interactions with people, can trigger stress. And I think she was chronically having issues with her GI system shutting down, getting sluggish, which then would cause pain.